Culinary Chaos Unleashed. So, my friend Sarah recently embarked on a culinary adventure, inspired by a new diet trend she discovered online. She got her hands on this cookbook, Slim Down with Strange, and decided to host a taste test party to share her newfound wisdom with her closest friends, including yours truly. Now, Sarah is known for her enthusiastic yet slightly questionable commitment to trends, so naturally we were all intrigued, albeit with a hint of apprehension. As we gathered in her kitchen, the aroma wafting from the oven was unusual, to say the least. But hey, we were ready to support her journey to health, even if that meant consuming what smelled like a combination of burnt rubber and wet dog. The first recipe up was something called kale surprise. The surprise, we soon learned, was that there was no kale. Just an overwhelming amount of Brussels sprouts mashed together with a sprinkle of cinnamon and a generous splash of beet juice. As we hesitantly took our first bites, we exchanged glances that said, "We're definitely going to need more wine." Next came the protein pudding, a bizarre concoction that involved tofu, anchovies, and a hint of vanilla extract. Sarah insisted it was an acquired taste, but the only thing we acquired was a growing sense of regret. We soldiered on, though, because that's what friends do. Besides, the promise of dessert had us hoping for redemption. The grand finale was the Choco Chickpea Delight. By then, our taste buds had been thoroughly confused, and we were ready for anything. Sarah presented a tray of what looked like chocolate truffles, but upon closer inspection, they were chickpea balls, dusted with cocoa powder and drizzled with honey. At this point, our expectations were low, but we gamely popped them into our mouths. Surprisingly, they weren't half bad. In fact, they were quite tasty, and we found ourselves reaching for seconds. Just as we were about to commend Sarah on finally nailing a dish, she dropped the bombshell. The recipe was actually meant for her dog, Max, who had been drooling under the table this whole time. As the room erupted with laughter, Sarah sheepishly admitted that she'd mixed up the pages and had mistakenly prepared Max's treat as our dessert. We howled even louder as Max joined in, tail wagging and tongue hanging out in anticipation. It was then that we realized the recipe for disaster wasn't in the ingredients, but in our willingness to go along with Sarah's eccentric culinary journey. We raised our glasses in a toast to friendship, good humor, and a newfound appreciation for the phrase, "Let sleeping dogs lie," because as it turned out, they had the best taste all along.